back.
What up, y'all?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Great, great. How are y'all?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here and want to take this time to welcome everybody back to another episode of As Told by Millennials. Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at As Told by Millennials. What's up, David? What's up, Denzel?
Not much.
Hanging in another day in America, child.
Same. It's been a good week so far. So glad to be here.
That's good. Denzel, how was your week?
Just the usual up and down, home and work, sleep at both places. But just the usual. How was your week?
My week was pretty cool. I was off. I had a few days off, and I relaxed and regathered and regrouped. So I'm glad about that because they hit me hard this weekend. So um, I'm glad to hear you guys. You know that this week was one of the better weeks that you've had since we've been recording. I know this recording this podcast does add another task to everybody's week. So I'm glad that we're balancing that and still enjoying it. So I'm glad to hear that. What did you guys do this week to find peace and bring yourself a little relaxation, Denzel?
I finally got a chance to go back to the nature park. Did a couple of miles out there. Hadn't been in a while due to the weather and the rain. The rain just been come 1 minute, next minute's gone. So I just been staying at home. So it was really good to get out there, just be at peace, enjoy the weather.
I love the rain. I'm one of the few people I know that who just loves the rain. I know my neighbors probably think they're living next to a cycle or something because when it rains, I like to go and stand outside in the middle of the rain and just and be out there. I'm not gonna do it now because I just got my hair done. For those who don't know, I have locks, so I just got my locks done. So we not standing in no rain this week. But usually when I don't have my hair done and it's raining, I'll go stand in the middle of the rain and get soaking wet and just that's just so relaxing to me. But David, what about you? What did you do this week to find joy and relaxation?
Well, I know I always go biblical every time we get to this section of the show, but of course, I found a lot of peace in my scripture this week. And the scripture basically just taught me to lean on God for all the things that I need in every way, find peace in Him.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, Pastor Sales.
okay, little pastor sales. That's what's up. I am.
Don't like it.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that we were all able, in some way or another, to find a way to escape the trials of this week, to keep pushing through, to persevere, to get to the end of it. Today, we're recording this on Friday, so it's Cinco de Mayo. I'm pretty sure we all indulged in Cinco de Mayo festivities. So I'm glad that we're here and that we're good.
So I guess this brings us to a new segment that we're adding to the show, or a revised segment we're adding to the show called Happy Hour. And this is where we
Yes.
invite everyone who's listening to find a way to pour a drink, whether it's coffee or alcohol or whatever your choice is, and just kind of join in with a little bit of society's mess, or just some of the things that we feel are important that are going on in society. So that's that.
Yeah. I know for this happy hour, I am drinking tequila. I'm not going to give a shout out to the brand, but it is a very, very good, very, very smooth brand of tequila that I really, really enjoy. It mixes well, and it is just, it's really, 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 really good. Denzel, what are you drinking for this happy hour?
I'm drinking a sweet red wine. I'm not gonna say the name, but it's smooth. Get me relaxed. That's all I need.
Okay. David, what about you?
Well, you guys know my favorite drink of all time is a Cabernet. I don't care the brand, as long as it's a Cabernet and it's bitter. I love it.
You do like that dry ass wine. But that's good. That's good. So recently we just saw that the 2023 Met Gala took place, and there
Hmm.
were a lot of looks. In my opinion, some surprising faces, and then some faces that usually deliver every time they hit the carpet. What did you guys think about some of the looks that we saw, or did you have a chance to see some of them?
I enjoyed the looks this year.
Hmm.
Like you said, a lot of the faces that I saw, some came through and some of them did not, and that's neither here nor there, just my preference. But yeah, I was excited to see some of the looks that were given.
Give me your top three celebrities and their looks that that like they killed. They were hands down the best that you'd seen, given the theme for that year. Like those are just like your top three. Everybody else can go home looks. Denzel.
Well, for me, I'm no fashion designer, nor am I really into fashion like that. But the way I judge people looks at the Met Gala is based off the level of confidence they show in those outfits. If you don't look confident in that outfit, you knew it looked a mess before you got there. And if you look confident, things tend to go together better to me. Cardi B looked great. What is her name? She just had a baby. I keep getting it mixed up.
Kiki Palmer.
Yeah, Kiki Palmer. She looked very pretty. Actually, the boys showed out this year too. Lil Nas X outfit was weird, but he was very confident in his look. It looked very good. It gave like very rich alien vibes. But the boys, they gave the girls a run for their money this year, and I liked all of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Normally we do just talk about the women, but the guys, they always deliver fashion. So you liked Cardi B, Kiki Palmer, and Lil Nas X.
It was another lady as well. She had an outfit on that gave the illusion that she was dripping some sort of liquid, which was unique. And what was the theme of it? In memory of somebody named Carl, right?
I thought it was Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah, that guy. I don't think this year the Met Gala got as much attention as it usually does.
Really?
Maybe it's just me.
Oh, well, I think my top look was for sure Diddy and Young Miami. I felt like they really came through. My number two look would probably be, I'm gonna go with Erica Badu. Of course, Erica is pretty weird within herself, but I really liked just the way, like you said, Denzel, the way she carried the outfit really made it what it was. My third outfit would probably be, um, I don't know. I really liked Quita Brunson's look. I liked it on her. As somebody who is short, I think that she gave a look that was classy, but still gave her face the attention that it needed.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I agree with that. I like Quinta's look too. I really liked. I really, really did enjoy Bad Bunny's look.
Yeah, me too.
Top three. Okay, so in my top three, I'll put Bad Bunny. I will put Kiki Palmer, and I I have to I have to have a space for Anne Hathaway because Anne Hathaway's look was just so it was just so her. Like I don't know if there was a look that just fit a person's personality as good as her look fit her, as good as her design fit her. She looked really, really good, really, really clean. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful outfit. But I really, really did enjoy just about every look. I enjoyed, like I said, Bad Bunny and Kiki Palmer and Janelle Monáe and Erica Badu and Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey was just like this timeless beauty. She looked so good. I know I talked
Hmm.
to David and I was like, where in the hell is she putting all these locks? Because her hair is longer than
Yeah.
mine and my hair is a pretty decent length. So I was like,
Hmm.
how is she tucking all these locks up under this little bitty wig? Because it's not like she had like a 32-inch, long. This is just like a cute little bob. But I enjoyed Diddy and the which city girl was that he's with?
Young Miami.
Young Miami. I enjoyed their look. Like it was a really, really good look. I can't think of that guy's name, but he had a very, very androgyny look. It's something Tyree Henry. I can't think of his first name, but I liked his look. He was in all black too. And his look was Brian Tyree Henry. He's been in a lot of stuff. I know I remember his face from the Eternals, but I liked his look. I think the Met Gala turned out to be pretty good. You know, it's always interesting just to see the fashions that come across and see how people approach whatever theme it is that they have. And you know, art and fashion and all of it is just a form of expression. And I don't think anybody kind of ex- exuded that more than Lil Nas X, because his outfit was just complete expression of how he
Mm.
felt and his interpretation of the theme. So shout out to the Met Gala and everybody that was there. So how do y'all? Because I personally am very confused about this next topic because when his daughter, I'm talking about Jamie Foxx, when his daughter came out and kind of announced to everybody that he had been in the hospital, she was saying that he was recovering, and she kind of painted this very, very optimistic picture, and I still feel that we should be optimistic, but to me, I interpreted that things were much better than what I'm learning they actually are.
I agree. I think that when we initially heard about it, I think they made it seem like he fell and bumped his head. Like it's been very downplayed since the
Right,
very
right.
beginning. And then I think as the storyline has progressed, it's getting worse and worse. And I'm like, wait a minute, like y'all made it sound like this dude just had a cold, and now it's like he fell out on the set.
Mm-hmm.
All the memes that went kind of a little too deep about now, take care of yourself because a job will replace you overnight and all this kind of bullshit. But I
Right.
think that overall, I think that the story it's getting worse. I don't think it's getting any better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was just
I think the family tried to get in front of the tabloids by announcing it first, but I don't think they had a clear plan or a plan that will actually work. They didn't think about long term. Now, like, people are coming up with their own conclusions. One minute he's good, then the next minute a blog saying he's getting worse. Now that they, now that they have like revealed this information, I think they need to come out and give us a clear statement so we as fans can know like which way to go, like which way this is heading.
yeah, I was just about to follow up and say that like they could have easily just said nothing. They could have said absolutely nothing. And then, after everything was done, after he was completely healed and been like, oh, he had some medical complication because, that's how they framed it. They won't actually give you like a diagnosis of what has happened. They keep framing it as a medical complication, which that could be anything. A medical complication is gas. Trapped gas is a medical complication. Anything, that could be anything. But it's just, the way the story had been going, I feel like kudos to his circle and his family and whoever his team is. Because usually when stuff happens like this, it's always leaked by some blog like TMZ, like that horrendous act that TMZ did when they leaked the death of Kobe Bryant before, the authorities had even contacted his family. Like usually stuff like that happens. So I feel like it's really good that his circle is tight enough that we didn't know anything about it until they decided it was time for us to know. But it's just a lot of the stories, like Denzel said, are conflicting because his daughter came out and said, he's recovering, he's getting better and everything. And then, like, I read something the other day and there was like, big news, Jamie Foxx is, conscious and opening his eyes. I was like, well, damn. Like, I didn't know it was, you just didn't know that it was that bad. So,
Like when was he near death?
right, when was he near there? Because they was like, to be working in the medical field, when you say unconscious, or when you say somebody is now conscious and opening their eyes, like there are certain scales that you use to grade a person's consciousness, and if a person is unarousable to the point where you can shake them, pinch them, call their name, all of this different other type of stuff, and they don't open their eyes and respond to you in some type of way, that's usually not a good thing at all. That's usually there's some kind of brain trauma or damage or something going on, or something with your nervous system is not responding to stuff like it should be. So now for them to say that he's now conscious and opening his eyes and stuff, it's just, that was just kind of alarming to me. But you know, all blessings and the best recovery to Jamie Foxx that he could possibly make after whatever this medical complication is. I really, really does hope he gets better and makes a full recovery, because there are not, especially in our generation, I don't know if there is in if there is, it is very, very few. It is a very, very elite club of people who are as talented as Jamie Foxx.
I agree.
So,
He is underappreciated.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I did see something on his Instagram. He posted a statement stating appreciating all the love and feeling blessed. I don't think that is directly from him. Maybe someone in his camp. I feel like with his circle being quiet about what's going on, I feel like they have would have been more successful if they would have stayed quiet the whole thing and just informed his investors, business partners, and any line of work that he's legally obligated to fulfill. What's going on for right now.
mm-hmm. It's definitely something serious. Prayers up to Jamie Foxx. I hope he, like I said, I hope he makes a um, full recovery. David, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we can wrap it up there.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that is going to conclude this happy hour for this week. Um, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to move into the next part of the show.
Someone once told me that grass is much greener on the other side.
Welcome back, guys. This is our portion or segment of the show where we introduce our main topic. This segment of the show is going to be called
In great detail.
In Great Detail. This segment is going to be introduced by, of course, our wonderful brother Denzel. Denzel, you have the floor.
I'm so
All
nervous
right, guys. Why are you nervous?
because you haven't told us what we're going to be talking about. You haven't told us what we're going to be going into great detail about. So I'm just, I don't like surprises. It's my controlling nature. So I'm nervous.
Trust me, I haven't put you in any bad position so far. All right, so our first topic is I know a lot of people that are working, a lot of people that are like, y'all fucking me up. But
Because I want to say, bitch, you haven't put us in danger.
Right. He be drifting around these exits and stuff, like
Drifting, okay?
whatever.
On two
But,
wheels, trying to get off 75.
acting like we in Fast
whatever.
and the Furious.
But did you die? But now, on a real, our first topic is about going back to school after, you have passed that point of like first graduating high school, and you get out and get a job, and that's your normal. And with both of you guys going back to school and getting degrees and getting your nursing license, and David is in education. I wanted to go over. I wanted to talk to you guys to see what things that you did to prepare yourself from coming out of the working class and actually going back to school. And what did you do? Like, what did you do with work, finances, and stuff like that, and help others understand, like, what to expect if they are thinking about going back to school and working full time.
That's actually a really good way of mentioning that.
Yeah, that really, really is. I'll go first since I actually did come out of the workforce. David, being the giant that he is, never stopped working when he decided to go back to grad school. I can't do all this
Never.
shit. I can't do it. So I did stop working. I will say honestly, honestly, I had no qualms about it at all. Like I said on the previous episode, sometimes you just need one thing to go right as far as your plan and as far as your goals and your aspirations. You just need to see that first thing go right, because usually the first step, it really is the hardest step. Like, but after you make that first step and you don't fall and you don't sway and you don't kind of get pushed back. After you make that first step and you see that it went right and you got positive feedback and you got the things happen that you wanted to happen, I was literally running away from my job. I first I decided to go back to school. I'll start there. Um, I had one of my cousins, David, my cousin that works out there with you. He asked me, he was like, "Well, what made you all of a sudden just decide to go back to school? Like, this is just kind of, all it's just out of nowhere because I hadn't really talked about it. I hadn't really just been saying a lot about it. I think I just told y'all, hey, I'm going to nursing school. I'm quitting my job." And he asked me like, what made you just all of a sudden decide to go back to school? And I honestly, I still have the text messages in my phone. I said, I got tired of my life and I stopped being a pussy and decided to do something about it. That was, I mean, for me, that was really all it boiled down to. But as far as like the logistics of it, um, I, did I did what I needed to do to get into a nursing program, which is prerequisites and community service and all this other stuff. I decided on the nursing program that I felt like their schedule, everything that went into the clinicals and the traveling back and forth to that particular school, like all of that kind of stuff. I took all of that into consideration, and I just went for it. I applied. I got accepted. I actually got accepted as like an alternate, which is kind of if somebody doesn't show up, then maybe we'll call you, maybe you don't. And then I kind of got there and did my interview and all of that changed. So they was like, well, we want to offer you like a real position. Like, we don't want you to be an alternate. We want to offer you a guaranteed spot in this nursing program. And so honestly, it's just the story of stepping out on faith and like everything just falling into place. Like I didn't have to try too hard. It wasn't like I was forcing it. Like everything really, really just fell into place, even as far as finances. Like I've always been good with money, and I had a pretty decent savings when I left my job. But some of the blessings that I've gotten that have carried me over in like the 2+ years that I didn't have a job, I honestly can't explain to you where they came from. It was some shit I had never even heard of. And me being me, I'm like, so what's the catch? Do y'all want this money back? Like, is this gonna add to some, account that I have with the government? Like what is this? Like, I had never heard of some of that stuff. And, you know, like I said, they were just, blessings that helped carry me over. So um for me, when it came time to go back to school, um I got tired of that 9 to 5 life, doing something that I didn't want to do at a place that I didn't want to be. And I decided to stop being a pussy and do something about it. David, what about you?
Well, for me, it's kind of a well-rounded discussion, and I think it's important to note that for Milton and I, we completely changed gears career-wise at the age of 30. We woke up and decided that we wanted something different out of life, and we just did it. And you guys know I worked full time through each one of my degrees, and now that I'm working on my doctoral degree, I'm still working full time. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm still working full time. I'm still maintaining a 4.0. Um, and so I think that the push that was needed was to remove the plan B. Once you decide that this is something you want to do, there is not a plan B. This has to work. If I fall, if I scrape my knee, I have to get up. I have to keep going. There's no other option. Number one, I'm not paying these people this money back. Um, Number two, the incentives that come with keeping your grades up and the financial assistance that comes along with it. Like Milton said, the money you have to pay back and the money that you don't. That's a plus to help you keep going, because it helps kind of get rid of the other things that can get in your way. But like I said, removing plan B was the turning point for me. And that goes with a lot of other things in life. Anytime you feel like there's something for you to fall back on, you're going to do that. Even when I moved here to Texas, had I felt like going back home to my parents was an option, or had I felt like not getting up going to work, then I would have not done those things, and I would not be where I am today. So you have to remove those pillows off your bottom, and sometimes you just got to hit your ass, and get back up and keep running.
That is so true what you said about the whole Plan B situation because nursing still, and as many of us people of color that you see in nursing is in the South, especially in the South, nursing is still a white woman's world. It really, really
Oh yeah,
is. And being in going through classes with white women, you would hear I would just hear them say, and I just couldn't imagine like the type of privilege or having a life with that sort of privilege because I would hear them say, well, if I don't pass nursing school, I just go get me a job as a secretary in a dental office or something like that. And it was just with so much you know ego and with so much privilege and just feeling like they deserved to be those things. And it was just weird because I used to say, well, I don't like this has got to work. There is no plan B. I quit my job where I was making X amount of dollars. Like I was making damn good money. So I quit my job where I was making X amount of dollars to come do this. So there is no plan B. There is no, well, if I don't pass this semester, I'll just come back. There is no, if I don't pass this, I'm just gonna go get a job nowhere else. No. This shit is gonna work.
completely agree.
Cool, cool. And with both of you all being my friends and both of you all going back and actually presenting that example to me of, there's no time limit on education or learning something new. It has been on my brain to like, try to get back into the school, and, to go back and get my degree. Because I feel like, with my line of work, I have the experience, but I think oftentimes I'm overlooked because I don't have that bachelor's degree. I don't have, that stamp of approval from a school. So it's not that I want to go back to school just because of that. It's also I want to go back for a personal reason, just to say that I did it because I know I am capable of. But it's just at the time that I was in school, a lot of stuff was going on. Hot boy summer, recession, all that stuff was going on, and ultimately it led to me making that decision to stop. So it's nobody else's fault but mine. But I do want to go back. And in talking with that, like with you all going back and making those drastic changes in life, and talk about the support system that you had during that time.
Y'all, y'all my niggas.
No, for real. Like if it
Like
was not for
for
y'all,
real.
and both of you guys always stayed on me, and I know that we both stayed on Milton. While he was in school, you even had a nickname for him, Med School. And it was just like, and that push from you, and I could always feel, your want to go back to school, based off the way that you pushed us.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you already know, me and Milton have told you time and time again, like, all you got to do is do your part. The rest is covered. We here. Whether it be if we got to stay up all night and help you write papers, it is what it is. It's really nothing to it. But I feel you. Like it's something that helps you gain a certain level of get up and go, by going to school and putting in that work and putting in those hours. It's an accomplishment. It's something that nobody can take from you.
hmm It really, really is. I know. Um, I jokingly said that y'all my niggas, but y'all really are my niggas. Um,
Absolutely.
so y'all's support was so crucial and so vital and so needed. It was so needed just to, even if y'all didn't even realize y'all were supporting me, just getting on the phone and listening to me talk about bullshit was support because it took my mind away from all of the stressors that I was having to go through at school. Because toward the end of school, um, school had gotten very, very difficult for me, not because of like the curriculum or anything, but just because of the people. Like there were certain people who had already decided that they didn't like me and they had the power and the influence to actually do certain stuff about it. So it was kind of difficult navigating those waters and still coming out on top. And you know, still having my dignity and my integrity throughout the whole situation, because I could have easily popped off and, you know, uh and handled that situation in a way that I'm more familiar with, because that's just a facet of who I am. But I really was able to see the bigger picture because of you guys. Like, I always want to be an asset to my friendship. And I always want to make my friends and the people around me proud. And so, just y'all being there for me through those 2 years, and David staying up with me at night, and Denzel, me at school, you better make an A on this test. Like, ain't nobody playing with you, like those
Right,
types of
right.
things. Those types of things, they really, really did go up a very, very, very long way. And then, my family and my parents and my mom has been such a huge supporter, and my family has been such a huge support system, and just in believing that I was even capable of doing these things, because um doing something new and quitting the norm, like, I knew I could do my job at that place that I was working at. I knew I could do that. I could do that in my sleep. I can do that when I didn't feel good. I can do that when I was having a bad day. I can do that when nobody else could. Like, I knew I can do that. But this was new. And, I wasn't for sure if I can do it. I knew I wanted to. I knew I had the drive to. I knew I had the desire to do it. But I had no precedence for being able to do it. Like, I didn't know that I could make it through nursing school. I didn't know that I could come out and be a good and safe nurse. So, everybody just believing that I could, based on the Milton that they had known for 30 years, because there have been some good times in there and there have been some bad times in there. But based on the 30 years that they have known me, they, saw something in me throughout that time that led them to believe that, yes, Milton can do this. I believe that Milton can do this. And it meant the world to me. And it gave me strength when I couldn't find the strength in myself to go and do these things. So I am eternally appreciative of y'all. I don't know if I've ever said that, but I really do mean that. I am so appreciative of y'all.
You're more than welcome. But hey, that's how it goes. We feed off each other. It's like a
Absolutely.
cycle. It's recyclable energy.
Yeah,
But
I don't
That's
know what
right.
I would have done just without the influences, of my friends, of my family specifically, my cousins, and specifically my sister, who has, just kind of blazed a trail that allowed me to see what life could be after obtaining a degree, and just allowing the talent that you have within yourself to breathe, help you breathe through that.
and see, like for me looking from my point of view, stuff like that, like you all, I'm out on my own. I'm in charge of everything, finances, all that stuff on for me. So it's kind of scary adding on another load of, you know, issues. Well, school is not an issue, but a load of work trying to accomplish something and then also make sure the bills are paid. And I know that, sometimes you got to make sacrifices because looking at you all, when you all was going through your process, I saw the sacrifices that you all made and stuff like that, the changes that you all made, the change of lifestyle and stuff like that. And it was, beneficial to you at the end. So I just got to get that through my mind and get everything, once I get that to that point where I'm saying, hey, I'm going to do this, I know it's going to, work. But I also need my brothers to kick me in my back, not too hard, but, just don't hit me in the face. Make me go,
Nah, we got to kick you hard because you know how
Oh, you
you are.
going? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. If you decide to go to school and and pursue whatever track that you want to pursue, it doesn't matter, because you already said earlier there is such a personal benefit to going to school. And it's not always about career and finances and the money that you're gonna make once you graduate with your degree, because there's not always 150K at the end of the tunnel once you get your degree, you know.
Absolutely. Far
But
from
there
that.
are so many personal and personal development benefits to going to school and just completing something, just sticking to something long enough to be able to complete something, because that's really what a lot of employers look at when they see you come in and they see that BS or that BA degree at the bottom of your resume or at the top of your resume, wherever you choose to put it. But it really means that this person has the tenacity to follow through with something, to
Yeah.
complete something. And that really speaks, like I said, that really speaks personally into your personal development as a person, to be able to see something completely through. Because there are benefits that came from getting this degree that I have learned about myself that I will be able to use in my relationships, in my friendship, in
Hmm.
all sorts of different things. So, but yeah, if you do decide to go back to school, you going and you gonna finish. And whether we got
Yeah.
to drag you by your ears to do it, you are going to finish. That's already been decided. You weren't even a part of the conversation.
And you no, seriously, we had that discussion. What was that? Months ago. It was like if he
Hmm.
decided to go, I mean, it's a wrap. It's done. He
And I
got
think
the
I'll
support he
do.
need, whatever.
I think I do really good this go round too because I don't have that many distractions and at the time that I went the first time I was just so fascinated with life and the new things that I was being introduced to because I was just fresh out of my mom's house and it's a whole other world because my mom didn't play that shit but I saw so many things and I feel like it just kind of I'm not gonna. I just have an issue with blaming other people or other things for something that I decided to do. So I feel like I allow myself to be distracted by those things. But right now, I feel like I would be focused on it.
Hmm.
So also with that, can we go into like the way that you all chose your learning institution that that you went the school that you went back to? Like what things that you looked for in a school and how did that let me read.
We
Let me
got you.
read.
I got what you're saying. And how did
Yeah,
that like
Yeah.
influence our
how did
choices?
you
And,
end up?
and
Yeah, how did you choose the school that you know?
I can definitely say before we even get started in this conversation, this is definitely going to cause a little spat between David and I.
As you
And
can
it's to
see, I
be
just took
expected.
off my robe so
You
I
can
won't
put it
get
back
hot.
on because it means absolutely nothing over here.
I want a
Um,
clean fight.
um, they well, I'll say for me, when I chose the institution that I decided to go to, I went there based on word of mouth. Let me start there because word of mouth does play a lot in the first initial interest in an institution, because usually when people go to look up these institutions that they're considering, they've heard about them from somebody in their family, their friend group, in the community or something like that. So word of mouth played a very, very big role. um, Meeting alumni from the institution, meeting people who have graduated from the institution and getting firsthand information um, about the institution, about the pros and cons of the institution and stuff like that. And then, more importantly, does this institution offer what I need? Does it offer what I need, and does it offer it the way that I need it to be offered? Because uh, depending on where you go, some institutions, some programs are completely online. If you're not an online learner, if you need if you need the structure of being in a classroom and being instructed by in-person instructor, then that may not be the school or the program for you. So it's a lot of things that go into it. Price, you know, tuition,
Yeah,
private
that's a
versus
big one.
public. Yeah, private versus public, Christian versus whatever else. um, so there are a lot of things that go into your decision making, and especially like nursing, because Mississippi puts out more nurses than any other state. So it's very, very competitive here to get into nursing
Wow.
school.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mississippi puts out more nurses than any other state. So it's very, very competitive. here to get into a program, let alone, whatever program that you decided that you wanted to go to. It's competitive enough just to get into a program. So that went into my consideration. I got into the program that I wanted to go to, but it's just a lot. But just do some research on the school. Do they offer what you need? Like, I wouldn't go, and this is I'm making a dig here. I wouldn't consider Jackson State University if I were going to school for nursing, because it wouldn't make any. And this is absolutely nothing against Jackson State. I love Jackson
Completely
State. I really,
agree.
really do.
Completely agree.
I
As
really,
a
really do.
Jacksonian,
Yeah, David is a Jackson State graduate, but it wouldn't make sense for me to go to Jackson State University for nursing. It would make sense for me to go to Alcorn State University for nursing. Like
I
those,
just cheated.
just that that type of thing. So
No, but
I'll
seriously, I completely agree. I mean, if I were going to go to school for nursing, it would definitely be Alcorn or Hines, hands down. And I think it's important to understand that different institutions do offer different things.
Yeah.
You first have to determine what it is that you really want to do. And if you're not sure, you need to have some kind of idea and also plan for bending. Plan for, okay, well, if I decide I don't want to go this route, can I pivot? Or can
Yeah.
I get a degree that allows me to be multifaceted in life if I decide that I don't want to do this anymore? Um, so for me, I tried everywhere. Um, I mean, I started out in the community college. Then I went on to Jackson State. I decided that the reason I wanted to go to Jackson State was because I was interested in technology, number one, and number two, I wanted to be involved more with the Black community after going to, at the time, was a primarily white high school. I decided that I wanted to be around my people a little bit more. I wanted to experience that. For my bachelor degree, I did receive my degree in industrial technology, and I minored in emergency management technology, which allowed me to still do what I wanted to do, but also be able to change modes if I choose to. Same goes for my master's. I got my master's in a faucet of higher education, which again allowed me to still work with technology. But if I decided that I didn't want to be in education, I could still flip it to
Yeah.
um, the realm of corporate America. And the same goes for my doctoral degree. If I decide I don't want to stay in education, I still have room to move into leadership in different organizations. So, I mean, you just have to make sure that you're making the best decision for yourself and open your mouth. If you're not sure, you definitely want to network with people who um, have attended college and just kind of get their input. But ultimately, like I said, make sure you make the best decision for yourself.
And that's like one of the things that I have the issue with. Like, I want to go back for engineering, and I know that most engineering courses require you to be in person, and the bills are still coming. And a lot of these jobs don't like to work around certain things. Your outside life, all they think about is me, 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 me. So that's one of the things that I have to try to kind of figure out. Hey, if anybody know of any like type of schools that goes for like engineering that is like, very flexible,
Denzel, what
let
are
us
you
know.
talking about? Your
I,
schedule is perfect to go back to school.
I mean, my schedule now, but I am
Is it about
still,
to change?
I wasn't even going to go
try
there.
to.
I was more so looking at the fact that who better to talk about education than the two people that you on this podcast with?
Right, and that's why I'm asking y'all these questions. So it's that's like one of the things that I have, with me trying to figure that out, and then like the whole ordeal of dealing with FAFSA again and all that stuff with the financial side of it
hmm
as well, and just it's kind of I ain't well, it's, to me it's kind of scary because I know it comes with a lot of work, but I know that it's very beneficial. But
hmm
I gotta just I gotta choose me. Which
If
do
Absolutely.
it's
I do?
what if it is what you really, really want to do, and it is what your heart is really leading you to do, it's not gonna feel like work.
Oh no, not at all. And
It's
I
gonna
mean,
feel like
and God will open the doors for you to receive whatever it is that you ask Him for. If you ask God for a engineering degree completely online where I can still work and still live my life, He will give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nothing.
What's up? Because I think I
What did
would
that girl
want
say? It's really very simple.
to. Let's check the
it's really
board.
very simple.
Let's check the board. Because I think I would want to do engineering, like industrial engineering, and like a minor in like business management.
Hmm.
So,
Because
like,
Liberty definitely has an industrial engineering
Mm.
technology degree that's completely online.
See,
really,
You went to Liberty, and my mind went straight to Jackson State.
Yeah, but in Jackson State may offer that program, and of course, I know so many professors over there, and so does Milton, because you'll have to take science classes. He knows a lot of people in the science building over there.
well, we definitely will be talking about this later on. So, yeah, I mean,
We've been waiting on you.
you was waiting on me at the door.
Waiting
We've
on
been
you at
waiting
the
on
door.
you.
Bags been packed. I gotta dust off mine.
And guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is very important about who you surround yourself with. Align yourself with people that are at the place that with the same mind frame. They ain't got to be where you want to go, but they got to have the same mind frame of where you want to go. And my friends, they really inspire me. I was so proud watching both of them graduate. I was just like, I did my best to raise them, single,
Oh
making
God.
bills.
As
But
a single mother.
yes, I
Okay.
did my thing. I am so proud of. But nah, but yeah, we're definitely, that's this is some good information to me. No. And I'm pretty sure there's many other, people out there feeling the same way I am. They just don't have the, people around them that, can give them light or just show them the right direction to start in.
Well, listen to your cousins. Get up, go for it. Make a plan, stick to the plan, and go for it. It'll work out.
Hmm.
Mhm. Just as quick as you get up and run to that club every weekend, you can run to those
Absolutely
books.
No judgment.
none.
5%. But yeah, so that concludes this portion of our show. Um, Milton, I'll turn it back over to you, our host.
Um, Two snaps for you, Denzel. I did not know
Yeah, that
what the
was
hell we were
big.
going to be talking about. I didn't know what we were going to be talking about. I was like, this boy better not ask me about none of my business. I know that. But
That's the next go round. Next go round.
But this was a really really good conversation. I feel like it's gonna help and inspire a lot of people, and I'm glad that it came to you to ask this. I know you may have been asking these some of these questions for personal reasons, but I feel like it's gonna really it's going to really reach a lot of people and transfer to a lot of people in a way that they can receive it and feel inspired, which is kind of the whole premise of this podcast. So I think that was a really, really good conversation. Thank you so much, Denzel. Um,
You're
Before we
welcome.
head out, is there anything that you guys would like to say, a positive note or just anything?
Well, for me, I know many of you on the last episode were concerned about me and my living arrangements and my beef with Texas rent relief. And just to go into a little detail, I was gonna say, well, I said, but nah, I was just applying for it. I'm good, trust me. I'm gonna be good one way or another. But yeah, I was just applying, trying to get free money, just like everybody else, because I fucked up and didn't apply for that PPP loan, and y'all are not in jail. So that pissed me off. So I'm
Listen,
just trying to.
let's talk about that. I'm thinking all of these people are going to jail when they come back and start going through all this stuff and auditing and stuff. These people have been living off these PPP loans good.
And,
Hmm.
I
and
should
you
have
know
applied
what
for
pisses
one.
me off? And you know what pisses me off about that is that a person like me would have got that money and I would have made so much good use to it. These motherfuckers went ate crab legs and all type of creatures from under the water with that money. Ain't got
Hmm.
nothing to show for it. They done got
That is,
Ursula and everybody else.
I cannot wait for the Little Mermaid to come out. Oh, I can't wait. But David, what about you? You have anything to say before we leave?
No, I thought this was a very informative show this week. Denzel, I appreciate you the way that you presented it to us, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this takes you and who else this helps by listening to this show.
I'm excited to see where this red wine finna take me.
Listen, I'm surprised you still got anything left in the bottle.
Okay, because he's been pouring up since before we started.
Yeah, I just got one thing too, guys. Love is free and it's very beneficial. Try doing it.
No, that's all right.
Okay. Um. Well, I think that is going to wrap up this week's episode of As Told by Millennials. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of the different places. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at
Hmm.
As Told by Millennials. And if you have any questions or feedback um, that you would like mentioned on the show, please email us at astoldbymillennials@gmail.com. The inbox is always open and ready to hear from you guys. So, if nothing else, we will catch you guys next week.
See ya.
Deuces.
Let you know